My name is Daniel Reed. I'm 33 years old, born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. I work in corporate acquisitions at a financial firm that looks better on paper than it feels on the inside. Clean suits, tight deadlines, too many secrets. But that's not what this story is about. This is the story I've never told anyone. I call it, She walked past me and said, "If you were mine, I would never let you go." It started on a Monday morning, the kind where even the sky looks tired. I was heading into the office after a sleepless night, my tie slightly crooked, coffee in hand, still replaying the argument I'd had with my sister, Ellie. She accused me of turning into someone Dad would have hated, cold, distant, hollow. I didn't argue back, maybe because a part of me believed it. The elevator doors opened on the 14th floor, and that's when I saw her for the first time. She wasn't supposed to be there. A new face in a place where faces rarely changed. Shoulder-length brown hair, sharply intelligent eyes, red coat that clashed beautifully with the gray halls. She walked past me with such purpose, heels echoing like a warning. Then she turned her head just slightly, enough for me to catch her voice. "If you were mine," she said, not even stopping, "I would never let you go." I froze. No hello, no smile, just that line, said like she knew me. I turned, confused, but she was gone, vanished into the maze of glass offices. I pressed the coffee to my lips to hide my expression. My hands were shaking. I didn't see her again for 2 days. Not until I was in a meeting with my team about the Layford account, a hostile takeover that was eating away at our sanity. That's when my boss, Mr. Halpern, walked in with a woman trailing behind him. "This is Camille Davis," he said. "New hire, Harvard Law. She'll be leading the compliance side of the Layford acquisition." Camille, red coat, brown eyes. Her. She nodded at the room, barely looking at me, though her expression said otherwise. Calm, icy, like she knew a secret I didn't. The meeting went on. Numbers, projections, legal loopholes. I couldn't focus. I was too busy watching her scribble notes with fingers that tapped rhythmically on her pen. Not flirty, not coy, just present, powerfully present. At the end of the meeting, I tried to catch her as we walked out. "Camille," I said, "can I ask you something?" She turned to me in the hallway, lips slightly curled. "You already know what I'm going to say," she whispered. "Yes, I meant what I said." "Excuse me?" "In the elevator. You remember." I stared at her, 1,000 questions flooding my mind, but she stepped closer. "It's funny," she said almost sadly. "You work here every day, but it feels like you haven't been here in years." Then she walked away again. That night, I couldn't stop thinking about her. I opened my sister's text. She'd sent a picture, us and Dad, 10 years ago at Coney Island. I looked at my own face in the photo, younger, more open. I didn't recognize him. I dialed Ellie. She didn't pick up. Camille's words haunted me. "You haven't been here in years." In the weeks that followed, Camille and I worked closely on the Layford account. Our interactions were professional but tense, like two people circling a truth neither wanted to say out loud. She was brilliant, fierce, unafraid to call out loopholes I missed. And underneath her cold poise, there was something broken, something that mirrored my own. Then one night it all changed. We were the last two in the office. Midnight, rain tapping against the windows like tiny fingers. We sat in the conference room with folders spread across the table. "Why are you still here?" I asked. She looked at me without lifting her head. "Because if I go home, I have to admit I'm alone." I didn't know what to say, so I said nothing. She leaned back in her chair and finally looked at me. "Why are you here, Daniel? You've got money, success, suits that cost more than most people's rent. But there's something missing. You know it too." Silence. And then, she said it again, softly. "If you were mine, I would never let you go." I stood up, overwhelmed, confused by the intensity between us. But before I could speak, she said something that made the floor fall out from under me. "You remind me of my brother." I froze. "My brother was like you," she said. "He lived in his head, tried to fix everything through logic. Until one day, he couldn't fix himself. He jumped from a building 2 years ago, a building owned by this company. I sat down slowly, heart pounding. "Camille, that's why I'm here," she whispered. "Not just for the job. I needed to understand what took him away from me. What kind of world rewards silence, ambition, and punishes heart?" I felt like I was staring into a mirror I didn't want to look at. "My father blamed me," she continued. "He said I should have seen it coming. I left home, changed my name, and then I found out this firm was behind the deal that cost my brother his job, his life. So I came here. Are you trying to bring us down?" I asked quietly. "No," she said, tears rising. "I wanted to know if monsters lived here, but you confuse me. You look like them, but sometimes I see him in your eyes. The part he never showed anyone." Silence again. Then something shattered inside me. I leaned forward. My voice was barely audible. "I lost someone too. My dad. He drank himself to death after losing everything. I hated him for it. Then I became everything he used to be." She wiped her cheek. I did the same. The moment hung there, heavy and electric. "We're not monsters," I said. She nodded. "Not yet." That night, I walked home in the rain. I didn't take a cab. I needed the sting of the cold. I needed to feel something again. Camille had shown me a wound I didn't know I had. And in some strange way, I wanted her to be the one who helped me heal it. The next morning, Camille wasn't at her desk. No one seemed to know where she was. Halpern said she'd taken a personal day. When I asked if she was coming back, he raised an eyebrow. "Why?" he asked. "Is there something I should know?" I shrugged. "No, just wondering." But the truth was, I wasn't just wondering. I was spiraling. Her absence made me feel like the air had gone thin, like I'd glimpsed something profound and now couldn't go back to the ordinary hum of emails and mergers. I left work early and walked the city until nightfall. My phone buzzed around 9 p.m. Unknown number. Text message. "There's something I need to show you. Come to 121 Grand Street. Rooftop. See." I didn't hesitate. The building was old, red brick, a ghost from another era. I climbed 4 flights of creaking stairs, then pushed open the heavy metal door to the roof. She was standing at the edge, her red coat dancing in the wind, hair untied, city lights flickering below like fallen stars. "You came," she said without turning. "Of course I came." She turned slowly, her eyes different, calmer, but resolute. She held out a manila folder. "This is everything. Internal reports, off-record communication between Halpern and Layford's board. They cut 800 people without severance to inflate stock. My brother was one of them." I stared at the file. "You want me to leak this?" "No, I will. But I need you to know. I'm not doing this to hurt you. I'm doing it to break the cycle. My brother thought no one would care. I have to prove him wrong." I stepped closer. "Camille, you'll lose your job. Your career." She looked down at the city, eyes shimmering. "Maybe, but at least I'll still have my soul." She turned back toward me. "Do you ever feel like you're living someone else's life, Daniel? Like you walked so far in the wrong direction, you forgot what the right one felt like?" I nodded slowly. "All the time." She came closer, so close I could see a faint scar under her left eye. "Then come with me. Walk the other way." "What are you saying?" "I'm saying, this place is poison. It feeds on silence and punishes honesty. But you're not like them. You're still human. I see it." Her voice broke. "I see it because I wanted to hate you, but I couldn't." She pressed her forehead to mine. "If you were mine, I'd fight for every piece of you, even the broken ones." I whispered, "Camille, I don't want to lose you." She pulled back gently. "Then don't." And in that moment we kissed. Not out of lust, but survival. A kiss that said, "I see you, and I choose you, even in the wreckage." The fallout came quickly. The next morning, Camille published the report anonymously through a legal whistleblower outlet. The firm erupted in chaos. Halpern launched a witch hunt. Layford's stock plummeted. News outlets swarmed. There were threats of lawsuits, firings, internal investigations. She was gone before anyone could pin it to her. She disappeared. No goodbye, no note, just gone. I tried to find her. I called every number, tracked old records. Nothing. Weeks passed, then months. I left the firm, took a job at a nonprofit offering financial help to struggling veterans. I started volunteering again, reconnected with Ellie. We even visited Dad's grave together. Piece by piece, I began rebuilding the man I lost somewhere along the line. But still no Camille. Until one day, a year later, I was walking past a bookstore in DC when I saw a familiar coat in the window. Red. I stopped cold. She was inside, seated near a display of books about whistleblower cases and financial reform. Her hair was longer, her smile softer. She was talking to a young woman, mentoring, maybe. She hadn't seen me yet. I didn't walk in. I just stood there watching her laugh, truly laugh. And for the first time, I realized something. She had let me go. But not because she didn't love me, because she wanted me to find myself before I could truly love her back. Love doesn't always come wrapped in forever. Sometimes it comes in as a fire, burning away the lies we tell ourselves. Sometimes it speaks in whispers. If you were mine, not as a possession, but as a reminder that we're still worthy of being fought for, even by someone who chooses to walk away. Because some love stories don't end with staying. They end with becoming.